What's up, pizza? All right. Okay, so we are going to program a rocket. We are going to program a rocket to fly itself. We will see if such things are easy to do. What's up, Dave? Golden Shadow, welcome. Let's start with... I feel like 0.1 meters is just too skinny to have enough fuel. So we'll start with maybe a 0.25. Give it some battery. Yes, into orbit. What did I actually say? No, this is still career. Not sandbox. Okay, so first we need something capable of going into orbit. And I think I want it to be able to go into orbit with a little bit of weight attached. So we'll put... I don't know. A fuel tank. Yeah, okay, so what we're going to be doing is programming a rocket to fly itself to orbit from the launch pad. That is the goal. Okay, so we'll put a 100-kilogram fuel tank in the top. So this will carry a 100-kilogram payload. That I will put inside of a fairing. Oh, that's not 100 kilograms anymore, is it? Nope. Batteries are actually dense as heck. Holy cow. We'll just make this a battery payload then. Okay. 100 kilograms. Give this bad boy a little nose cone. We'll have to see about the length. That seems about right. The pointier, the less drag, which is good. Okay, so we'll do that, and then stage 1 will be the old gnome engine. And that'll be vacuum, delta V. Okay, we want... Don't need gimbal for the last stage because the gyros are enough. So 413 Newton meters. I forget how that translates to kilograms in terms of rotational, like, acceleration per second. Well, I guess acceleration is per second by default. Newton meters. What is it? What is a Newton meter? How does that translate to rotation? 1 Newton meter is a unit of torque resulting from a force of 1 Newton applied perpendicularly to the end of a moment arm that is 1 meter long. Well, okay, that's not very surprising. But if it's anything like Kerbal Space Program, the game doesn't know how, like, all that it cares about is the weight and the moment of that axis. So I guess the moment of this axis matters. Ugh, that's confusing. So who really knows? I mean, it's been enough before, so I just presume it'll be enough now. Guess we'll find out in testing. Anyway, nozzle throat size. We get some decent gains on delta V, but not a ton. Nozzle length is where we get the most gain, and we don't lose thrust by making the nozzle longer, so we will do that. Make it kind of the same width here. And the size affects the thrust to weight ratio. I don't want the burn time might already be too long. 3 minutes is pretty long. So I might actually bump up the size just a smidge. 2.5 minutes. Yeah, that's a little better. Then we need an interstage. Ta-da! Go to 0.6 meters, because we need some fat lower stages. Oh yeah, this is gonna be way too tall. Crap. What I might do, hold on, let's save this. Save craft, auto, orbit. And we have almost unlocked the new launch pad. So I think I'm gonna do that. Chuck Schaefer. The not-so-secret Ollie base, hidden facility in a salt lake surrounded with mountains. So I think we'll do that, and then we should be able to launch a slightly taller rocket. But we need to get periapsis. We just need to get into orbit. So I'll go ahead and load a craft. CubeSat to low Drew orbit. We already know this thing works, and we'll just go for it. View issues. Oh, it has a payload that we're not allowed to have. Well, that's fine. Okay, so we'll just get into orbit real quick with this bad boy. Lock heading. Full throttle. Crap, our apoapsis is really high from that. We should have probably should have not gone straight up. Oh well, it's fine. Lock prograde. Should be okay. Time to apo down to 60. Right here. I'll just try to like keep it around 60. Okay. Keep it around 40. There we go. That's just about right. Do the next stage. And we should get into orbit with this. Oh! Get to orbit fast. Okay, well, interesting. 5 minutes is faster than I thought it was. Okay. What's the total burn time on these guys? I guess it's not as easy as I thought it was. I assumed 5 minutes would be plenty. Okay, so for this one... Wait, why did it select the interstage? Oh, I guess you can't select from the staging menu. It just highlights. It'd be nice if you could select the parts from this menu. Ah. Anyway. Gnome engine. So that guy has a burn time of 4.1 minutes. That is way too long. Oh, that's all stages. Sorry. Stage 3 is 76 seconds. Stage 2 is 2 minutes. Okay, we gotta speed up the stage 2 burn time. So we're gonna up the size of this bad boy. Bring that down to just over a minute. It's a little better. And make this a smidge longer. 9.83 meters, we're still good. And we gotta go more sideways. I think we can do this. So we're gonna start at a 70-degree heading. From the beginning. Loud noises commencing in 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. Okay, that's looking a little better. Separate, prograde. We are at 30 kilometers, so we'll go to orbit prograde. Apoapsis, get it to just like 85, I think. What's up, Lodro? You know what? I actually need to just keep adding speed, I think. We only have 3 more minutes. So even though it's inefficient, we'll just go sideways and add a bunch of lateral speed until this stage is burnt up. Okay. Next stage. And now we probably need to even... Oops, I didn't want to change my heading. Oh, I was supposed to go southeast. Crap. Oh well. Not northeast. Whoopsies. Okay, well, whatever. So now we actually need to go a little bit down and forwards. So we'll pitch to -5. And hopefully we can get there. Yeah, we're almost at 3,500. We should be good. But we're kind of removing some of our vertical speed, and that will translate into kind of rotating the orbit, because if I had just gone straight ahead, it would have been kind of wonky, and this will get it more circular. And there we go. Bingo. With over a kilometer of delta V left. Beautiful. 1.6 million rewarded. Alright. So now I have a new launch site. I have the Ali pad, Ali. And our max size is 50 meters tall and 9 meters wide. That's amazing. But the launch fee is much, much, much higher. $15 a kilogram instead of $1 a kilogram. And the coordinates are much closer to the equator. It's 5.5 degrees south rather than 25 degrees north. So that's very nice to be closer to the equator. Makes it easier to do like a geosynchronous equatorial orbit type thing. So now I don't have to design my rocket within those crappy restrictions of 10 meters tall. Okay, auto orbit. Let's get back to making the rocket for orbit. We had the first stage done already, I think. Yep, 2.31 kilometers a second. Second stage. We'll add the engine as well. This guy's got to be a little bigger. Gimbal range is fine. Nozzle length. Let's see. We want the exit pressure to be good for something below 10. Yeah, I think anything below 10 is going to be good. Because 10 kilopascals starts at 20 kilometers. So we'll get more delta V out of that nozzle length than a shorter one. Yeah, I mean, the difference is quite significant when you're looking at a vacuum between like a 50% and a 200%. That's a lot better. Okay, so exit pressure, 10 kilopascals is good. Hey, Dorian, how's it going? And then another interstage. Get fat yet again. And this time we're going to do a solid Ifrit booster. This is a big boy. We'll turn off auto resize. Okay, stage 1. We already have 4.6 kilometers a second between stage 2 and 3. Which alone is almost enough to get to orbit. So we might not actually need an Ifrit here. Yeah, right, 20. Yeah, 20 starting TWR. I don't know if we're going to need that much. Let's try some fat goblins. You know what? This might be better suited to... my sub-assembly that I already made. Some of these little goblin boosters. Yeah, that's about right. 700 meters a second, 1.8 TWR. Oh, no, sorry. 1.5 TWR. That should be enough to just get us off the ground, get us moving, get us a little bit to thinner atmosphere. And then the other stages will take over. I do need stage 2 to have a higher TWR, given that it's going to do more of the heavy lifting. So we'll go ahead and select that engine. And we just need to bump up its size a bit. Why is... Oh, hold on. Sorry, that's the wrong stage that I'm messing with here. This one was fine being a little smaller. It's this one we want to mess with. That's the TWR of stage 2. Actually, I'm assuming it staged these correctly. Am I correct? Yeah, okay. So this stage, we need a higher TWR. Okay, I think that's a little better. And then these guys get positioned. That is a long engine. But I think this works. Stage 1. Yeah, okay. So this is my 100 kilograms to orbit. Craft. Let's double check things are all good. I don't know if we have enough battery, but we have some. Is there anything else I need to change? I don't think so. Let's try actually putting it in orbit. See if it works. So here's our new launch pad. That was the Juno Village one, and here's the... Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm here. Okay, in the desert. A little bit below the equator. They are pretty low. Alright, so let's attempt launching. That's a lot of dirt. Nice. It is worth noting the sea level. We don't start 2.7 kilometers up, which means it's going to take a little more delta V to get to orbit. I might need a little more kick. We only got to 5 kilometers from the boosters. I want to get closer to 10. That pad wasn't available to launch from? Oh, interesting. So I'm just going to make this 3 of these little boosters. And yeah, that does look a little weird. Okay, let's try this again. 3 is a bit strange, symmetry-wise, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, that's a little better. Our apoapsis quite a bit higher, and they burn out at about 8 kilometers. Do the next stage, lock to prograde. And we'll do all the way up to Apo being... Well... Yeah, once we get to 40 kilometers, then we... Okay, yeah, I was a little... We got our apoapsis too high. I think we needed a little bit more of a slow burn on this motor, actually. Okay, so wait a little bit. You can move separators without moving the boosters by using the offset tool. Oh, you mean just separating from somewhere other than the center of the fuel tank. Gotcha. Yeah, so it launches them a bit more, like, top away. That's a good idea. Okay. Oh, I never switched to orbit. That's part of the problem. Anyway. So I have how much delta V left? 1.25 kilometers a second? That's not right. I feel like the delta V is wrong sometimes, and I don't know why. I've actually noticed a bug, and I think we're seeing it here. I don't know why it's saying 1.25 kilometers a second. It should be a lot more. It's like 2.4. Unless I missed something. No? That seems to be correct. Oh, nope, now the delta V's back up to 2.05 kilometers a second. See, what happened? I don't know what happened there. Some sort of weird glitch. I'm just keeping my time to Apo under 30. Okay, easy peasy. We got to 160 kilometer orbit with fuel left over with a fairly inefficient liftoff, so this is good. I don't understand that glitch. It's a really weird one. It's happened on a couple other launches that I've had too. Okay, so now we get into the programming goodness. So this is going to be a joy, I think. Actually, it should be fun. So on start, we will activate stage, set heading to heading is probably fine on east. The pitch, we want it to be 85 degrees. Heading should default to east, which is east 0 or is east 90? I guess we'll find out. East should be 90. I think 85 was maybe a bit high. We'll do 80. And then lock heading on current. Does it automatically lock? I wonder. Is that an unnecessary? Okay, you don't need that. All right, so we'll ditch that. That's the booster stage. And so we are going to wait until, let's find the wait. Wait until the fuel what's this say? Returns the remaining fuel. Okay, yeah, fuel in the stage. Oh, we need the comparator. Is equal to all right, y'all, armchair programmers, chill out. We'll get there. Wait until fuel is equal to 0. We don't need throttle because it's solid rocket boosters for now. And then we can activate stage, set throttle to 1, set pitch, or, well, let's see, no, sorry, lock heading on prograde. How do you change the frame of reference to orbital? Yeah, exactly, Dorian. This is not a program made for cross-rocket compatibility. This is a program made for this rocket, and this rocket alone. So it's only gonna do this rocket's stuff. I'll deal with cross-rocket stuff later. So I can't change it to orbital surface reference? Like the button on the bottom left where you change it from surface to orbit, I can't do that? That's kind of annoying, actually. Boo. Boo. Okay, lock heading on vector. And the vector that we want is the orbital velocity. And do I need to keep redoing that? Like, is that one gonna be changing constantly and it won't, like, keep paying attention to this? I'm guessing. Yeah, okay. So, yes. So that's something we'll do, repeating, along with changing the throttle. We'll leave that to the side for a moment. I'll just put a while loop in there for now. And then we'll break out of that loop. Second stage, we'll continue doing a different while loop. Send that off in a broadcast and do it in a loop. Oh, interesting. I don't know what broadcast is, but let's investigate. I only want you guys to be about 50% backseating. Where is broadcast? Broadcast. Okay, so we want to broadcast message. And do I just type whatever I want in here, or do I need to put like a variable? Like, can I just type orbital prograde? Does it care about capitalization? Like if I typed orbital prograde but had the P lowercase, would that break it? This will be while true. Lock heading on vector velocity orbit. And then we'll go ahead and wait. Where's the wait command? I forget. There it is. No, not wait until. We'll just do this like 10 times a second. That's more than enough. We don't need to do that like every frame. It's not going to change angle that quickly, nor would it even be capable of making smaller adjustments. Okay, so that's there. That'll just be done for the rest of the program until... Well, I want to kill the program once it's happy. So we will want to break if something. Are variables global within the whole program? All are global. Okay, good. And kill command? You can just kill the whole program? Hey, Snarfster, thanks for the follow. I'm not seeing a kill command. Glad you're enjoying it, Snarfster. Oh, a loop variable. Okay, I get what you're saying. We could just not put true here. So then we basically just want like some sort of variable. We'll call it running. The program's running. And that'll be 1. Now, does 1 evaluate as true is a question. Or do I need to say while running equals 1? Everything non-zero is true. Perfect. Yes. Beautiful. Okay, so we want while running. Okay, and it'll just keep doing that. Now, this won't start until it receives the orbital prograde broadcast. So this isn't going to start right when I set running. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's good. I can ditch that. So it'll do orbital prograde, heading lock. It'll set the throttle to 1. Technically, if I wanted to be really efficient, I would probably go surface prograde a little longer until my height above sea level is like 20 or 30K. This will introduce some aerodynamic inefficiency, but it should be fine. Should be fine. Gosh, there's so many options. This is just going to be the basics. Okay, so this is good. This is good. It's doing that. And then what do we want? We need it to slow. Now is when we need to start thinking about time to apoapsis and paying attention to it. So it'll default to full throttle. It'll do this for a while. And then we're going to look at the time. Let's see. Where do we get this info? Craft? The time left for the craft to reach its apoapsis in seconds. Okay, so there we go. Wait, craft 0? Is craft 0 this craft? Do I need to put that in there? Or does that just work? Right, Snarfster? Programming is going to be like half the game if we're trying to really do it well. There's a better block second from the top. Oh, okay, there we go. Gotcha. Okay, so we want the orbit time to apoapsis. Apoapsis is the altitude, which in a complicated program we would care about. But for now, we're just going to do the fixed time to apoapsis, and that should result in a circular orbit, and then we'll tune some of the throttle numbers to get it to about the right height. Again, this program is just for this rocket, not every rocket. All right. So we've got... We need some sort of loop now. And then we'll do an if-else. So if time to apoapsis is less than... Well, we'll start with greater than. If it's greater than... We'll start with a 60-second one. Then we need to throttle down a bit. And so I want to set throttle to throttle minus something. Oops. Oh, we need a read throttle, which is here. Input throttle, okay. to throttle minus, I don't know, 0.02. We'll go with 2% per cycle. But, okay, hold on. We don't just want to do that, because then it'll just throttle down to 0 if it gets a little too far away. So we also need to check... okay, hold on. This was the thing I was just thinking about a little bit ago when we were talking in the Discord. We need to basically see what its acceleration time to apoapsis is. So we basically need to read... I'm sure there's a million better ways to do this, but I think this will work. What we'll do is we'll read time to apoapsis at 2 separate times. And we'll take the difference. And that will be like our speed of TTA. You know, time to apoapsis is TTA. We're going to abbreviate that. So our TTA speed would be if we read it and we wait a small smidge and we read it again. And we're going to set some variables up. TTA before, TTA after. And we're going to go ahead and do that, do that. We're going to have a tiny little wait command in here. Wait, where's the wait command? Top. Again, it'll do it 10 times a second. So then we've got TTA before, TTA after, and then we'll make another variable for TTA speed. And then after minus before times 10 should be all we need to do. So set variable TTA speed to after minus before times 10. Okay. So let me think about what the heck kind of number is this going to give me. So let's just say, or maybe I need to divide by 10. I don't even know. Okay, let's say it was 45 seconds, and then 0.1 seconds later, it's 46 seconds. Then that's going to be a difference of 1 second. And that is going to then get multiplied by 10. So it's going 10 seconds per second. Yeah, that's going to work. That's correct. So that gives us our TTA speed. And now we basically just need an and. So if the time to apoapsis is greater than 60 and TTA speed is positive, then we're going to want to down throttle. And that will then get our TTA speed negative. And once our TTA speed is negative, we don't need a down throttle anymore. So I'm happy with that. And then we need to copy that. But change... I wish you could change this symbol. I don't know if there's a... That would be nice to be able to just switch the operator rather than make a whole new block. Because then you gotta, like, move everything over. I guess... Hold on. I guess what we could do... we could just switch the switch these things. If 60 is greater than orbit time to apoapsis, then that's the same as switching the operator. Okay, and then TTA speed is negative. Then we set throttle to minus negative 0.02. Oops. A set target command? Yeah, there's got to be a set craft target somewhere. Surely. There's switch to craft. Set camera. Time mode. Maybe there's not. Oh, by name or by PCI position vector. There you go. Target node. Okay, that's what it is. Anyway, so this is going to be keeping our time to apoapsis at 60, ideally, by throttling up or down. And that'll keep running. And then we need to check fuel each time. So if fuel is equal to 0, then activate stage. It should just be able to keep doing that. And then we just want to check the apo and periapsis. Okay, so instead of while running, we'll do while apoapsis minus periapsis is greater, the difference. Blah! This can be a little finicky. Is greater than, I don't know, what do we want to be? Within 1 kilometer? Is this in meters, I presume? It doesn't give you the explanation unless you mouse over it here. It's in meters, okay. So yeah, we'll get within 1 kilometer. And again, there are lots of improvements we could make. Technically, the time should change and get smaller as these get closer. So we could call, that's easy enough to change. Let's change this to a variable. Difference. I don't know. What do we call this? I mean, I guess this is really just a measure of eccentricity, but it's a different kind of measure. Apsis. They both have apsis. The difference in apsises. So eccentricity has other measurements in it, though, so I don't really want to measure the eccentricity itself. I want the meters difference. It's easier to deal with. So we're going to set the difference to apo minus peri, so it should be a positive. Actually, no, we want peri minus apo. And that'll be a very negative number. Apo minus peri is going to be a very positive number. So we actually need... we don't need... The difference in apsis will just be 0 to start, right? So we actually need to set this before we go into the loop. And then the difference will be large, and so we actually need it to be less than 1,000. Oops. Yeah, it's annoying that it's above the planet's radius. I hope it's negative rather than 0. Because really, you know, I would actually prefer that the periapsis and apoapsis numbers, or you could have the option to be like from the center of mass of the planet rather than from the planet's surface. I know there's equations. I don't want to use them. So is this going to have some sort of error, do you think? Or is it going to be fine? I guess we'll find out. Okay, so anyway, the difference in AppSci... Just launch and see what happens. How do you send a message to the player? Like, is there a way to, like, see... Like, I just want to know... Display block. Where's that? There it is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this over here for now, and we're going to display the periapsis. We're going to go ahead and save this program as auto orbit version 0.1. We're going to save it to the craft. We're going to go ahead and launch and see what it tells us. Where... Okay. It said 0. That's good. Right? That's what we want. It wasn't Nan, so we should be okay. Get rid of that. You come back. Nan will propagate and kill everything it touches. Nan is the ender of worlds. Okay, so then what we want to do is essentially change this to some sort of math that reduces the second... Oh gosh, what did I just do? Undo? I want to reduce the seconds to apoapsis as we get closer and closer to being circular. So the difference in AppSci should be getting closer to... What, 60 divided by something? I want it to be like 30 seconds, or maybe even 20, or 10, as we get closer and closer to 1,000. I'm gonna need to do some math, I think. So we need another variable. This guy's gonna be called difference in apsis seconds sec to apo. Why am I capitalizing some things but not other things? It's really annoying. I love my inconsistency. Okay. So we're gonna set sec to apo to 60 minus, or 10 plus. I don't know. It could go either way. Let's do 10 plus. And the difference in apsis when all of this starts happening should be around 50,000. And then it'll kind of grow towards probably, you know, 80 to 100,000. And then it'll start reducing again eventually. It won't start reducing until our periapsis gets above... Actually, now that I think about it, maybe this should be tied to orbital velocity? No, No, this is fine. This is where eccentricity is actually helpful, because eccentricity is going to be closer, like, the zeroing out on the planet's surface for apoapsis and periapsis is kind of a problem here, whereas it wouldn't be a problem for eccentricity. This is fine. So difference in apsi is going to be around 100,000. And then we want that to translate to 50 seconds. So 100,000 divided by... divided by what gives us 50? 20,000? No, 2,000. The problem is, this is going to start out smaller, and then get bigger, and then get smaller again. So now we need some sort of if else. Gosh, this is getting gross, but it'll work. It'll work. Don't you worry, everybody. If the apoapsis itself, oh my gosh, is less than, you know, 80,000, then this isn't even going to do anything. Just set it to 60. Else, oh gosh. Wait, I just want to move this. How do I just move that one? How do I, like, pull this out? I don't want the whole block. You have to undock the stuff? You can't just, like, shift click or control click? That's weird. Okay, so if the apoapsis is lower than 80,000, it's just going to stay at 60 until it gets above 80,000. Then we do this difference over 2,000 stuff. And now we can change our 60 to sec to apo. And that should approach things. This will stage when we run out of fuel. And then finally, after... we're out of this loop, we will set running to 0. That will break that one and end the program. Perfect code? I think so. Will it work first try? Definitely. This program is going to be wonderful. So let's walk through it just once to make sure everything is kind of the way it's supposed to be. So when the program starts, it's going to say that the program's running. It's going to stage the solid boosters, set the pitch to 80, set the heading to 90, so that'll pitch over a little bit. I don't have fins. I might need fins. It's only going to be able to pitch over with the gyro wheels, which are very small compared to the weight of the craft, so we'll see about that. It'll wait until the boosters run out of fuel. It'll stage the next one, throttle up. It'll broadcast orbital prograde, which will keep the heading locked on the orbital velocity vector. And then we set diff apsis to the difference, which is going to be pretty large. At that point, our apoapsis will be, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000. So... oh wait, this is backwards. Well, that's greater than 1,000. The difference in apsi is greater than 1,000, so then it'll keep looping through this. So then we set the variable again, because that's in the loop. The time to apoapsis before, we wait 0.1 seconds, you set time to apoapsis after. The time to apoapsis speed is then calculated. And then we do this little part where if our apoapsis is less than 80k, we just want 60 seconds to apoapsis. Otherwise, it does this difference thing. And then if the time to apoapsis is greater than the seconds to apoapsis and the speed is positive, then we throttle down because that means we're greater than the time we want and the time is going higher. Oh, that means we should throttle up. I got this backwards. And then if the reverse is true, then we need to throttle up because the times are too small. Wait. If the times are too big, we need to throttle up. If the times are too small, we need to throttle down. Yeah, that's correct. And then finally, if we're out of fuel, keep hitting that. If it's checked, all that stuff, yeah, double negative's fine because I can't change that to a plus. That is definitely something about this code block stuff that I would change. You should be able to change the operator and then it would keep whatever's in the circles. Because that's just really annoying. Like, I'd rather just do a double negative than have to, like, drag in the plus, move those over, drag... Yeah, I don't know. That's just definitely a failure. I'm sure it's probably harder to fix, and that's why it's not that way. Or maybe there's a mod that could fix that. I have no idea. But let's try it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? He asks. What's the worst that could happen? We're not touching anything. Uh-oh. What is going on? Yeah, we need some fins, I think. That's a bit of an issue. Okay. Alright, it locked to the orbital velocity and that was too far over. Okay, what can possibly go wrong has gone wrong. I think with some fins, this will be just fine. Just needs the ability to have some attitude. It needs to control its attitude. They don't even have to be big fins. Gosh, I hate triangular fins, but whatever, we're going for it. It should be able to better pitch over at first. A lerp? I don't know what the heck a lerp is, but some sort of average. Yeah, I agree. But it's fine. With fins, it should be fine. Linear interpolation, yes. That would make sense. Where it like starts out at the surface prograde and slowly switches to the orbital one. But for now, it should just switch over to that. And the fins are keeping it going in a straight line. We have an issue. Our throttle's at 0. Oh, it's down throttling because our time to apoapsis is too low. Aha. Okay. That, I mean, it's sort of working, but the problem is the time to apoapsis doesn't get up to 60 seconds for a while. So we don't want to enter this block unless there is... Oh gosh. Too many nestings. What do we need to be true before we even mess with the throttle? I don't know. There's a lot of things we could measure here. Well, one easy way to do it is we could just wait. I could change this to a wait until. It doesn't need to keep looping through this until something happens. And that something could just be... Ugh, gosh dang it. I hate that you can't just grab one thing out. That actually bothers me. Anyway, we'll just wait until... Oh shoot, where was it? Here? Wait until the time to apoapsis. No, that's the actual apoapsis. Is greater than 60. It will break the fuel staging, but it shouldn't stage before this happens. I'm pretty sure we get above a 60-second time to apoapsis with second stage. So again, yes, this would mess with whatchamacallit. Yeah, I could move the staging into its own loop. In fact, I could just move the staging into this loop. Might as well. It's a slightly better program without much difficulty. Okay. Let's try it again. Surely there's 0 mistakes after that fix, right? Okay, we know it at least gets this part right. And then... maybe... Yep. Good. You really want the countdown, don't you, Pizza? Okay, I definitely think we are pitching over way too much. This is not good. Air density is still quite high. Okay, so we're gonna change the numbers a little bit. The heading, we're gonna do pitch to like 88 to start with. And then I have an idea. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lock prograde after we stage, and that will be the velocity prograde, I assume surface mode. And then we are not going to set, wait, where did broadcast orbital prograde? We're gonna wait on that. We're not going to broadcast orbital prograde until our apoapsis goes above 60. I think that's good. That should keep us on the surface prograde for a lot longer. Alright, we're at least to version 0.2 now. If you do that, you'll have multiple instances of the loop running? What? Oh, it's gonna keep running the orbital prograde thing, and so that'll like, oh gosh, so that'll break my computer. Oh, the game limits you to 50 threads. Okay. Well, then another check. We can just do a check inside of here. If apoapsis is greater... Actually, no. I want it to be our... Yeah, hold on. I actually know exactly what we want to check before we pitch over. It is the... We could do literally air density, but in this case, we're not making it to go on other planets. So I just want ASL to be greater than 35,000. Okay. Save again. Go for it. Instant launch. Which pizza loves? Snarpster, you have to actually manually create them. When you're in the little variables menu, there's a button at the bottom of the screen to create the variable, and then you name it. Yeah, no problem. Okay, here we go. So it should stay locked on prograde for a minute. There we go. Throttle's staying at 100%. Time to apoapsis is getting closer to 60. There it is. When do we have it throttle down? I can't remember. I forget what my condition was now. Was it our apoapsis? Oh, there was the 35,000 pitch over to orbital. This does... Oh, no, it's still locked prograde. If I switch this, it changes... Nope, just kidding. That's the velocity vector. Yeah, something's wrong. It's staged properly, so we've got that going for us. But yeah, it's not throttling down. Okay. Okay. Progress. So you're not throttling down because... Okay. So what's happening, we're in a while loop that the difference of APSI is greater than 1,000. At the point where we've already staged the solid boosters and then staged the second one, the difference in APSI should almost be certainly greater than 1,000. Otherwise, this stuff wouldn't happen. So I guess we don't know that any of this happened, though. Apoapsis minus periapsis. Let's log diff apsis there just to make sure. So then as long as it's greater than 1,000, it pops into this while loop and it stays here for the rest of the flight. It recalculates diff apsis, it TTA before, TTA after, that's fine. TTA speed is after minus before times 10. So that's the seconds per second getting to the apoapsis. And then if the apoapsis is still under 80K, we just want sec to apo to be 60. Otherwise, we set it to this thing. So that'll just be 60 to start with. And then we're going to wait here until the time to apo is greater than 60. So it should be here for a while. And then once time to apoapsis gets above 60, then it jumps into this. If time to apoapsis is greater than 60, which is what sec to apo will be for now, and the TTA speed is greater than 0. Oh, it's waiting every single time. That's the problem. Dummy. I don't want it to wait every time, I just want it to wait the first time. That's why we've got an issue. In fact, I can just wait before I even hop into this loop. Silly. Okay, that was the issue. Now we'll do this later. Broadcast, orbital prograde, wait until, then we set it. Okay, fixed. Now it's gonna work perfect, 100% chance. Version 0.3. What could possibly go wrong, he says, for the 5th time. Alright, solid boosters. Success. And so now things should trigger when the time to apo gets to 60. Which is now. Throttle should start going down. Dang it! It's not. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Come on. Come on, man. Alright. It's not waiting. ASL is the pitch over. Wait until orbit time to apoapsis is greater than 60. Set diff apsis, which at that point is greater than 1,000. But we'll log it just in case, because now I don't know what the problem is. Well, that's greater than 1,000. We reset it. We get our TTA speed. Time to apoapsis is greater than 60 and TTA speed is positive. Then we down throttle. Which TTA speed should be positive here, because time to apoapsis speed is looking at our time before, our time after, and if the time after is bigger, then that'll be a bigger number minus a smaller number, which is a positive number, times 10, which is still a positive number. So if the time after is longer, that means we're longifying our speed, or our time to apoapsis, which means we want to slow down. The time is greater than 60, and we're getting further and further from 60 Set throttle to input. So yeah, something's breaking here. Let's log TTA speed. Oh, you're right. It was right the first time. I switched it because I thought it was wrong. Why did I switch it? I was... Okay, so if we're getting further and further from the apoapsis, that's because we're going too fast, and we do need to slow down. And if we're getting closer and closer to the apoapsis, that's actually because we're going too slow, and we need to speed up. Okay, yeah, I had that right the first time, and then I looked at it and thought I had it wrong. Interesting. Okay, I think that's actually the only issue. I'll leave the log in there for now, but... Yeah, Brickster, I am enjoying the art of automation. It's just so cool that we can make this all work by itself. Okay, here we go. It should start throttling down a tiny bit here. And it's working. And it stopped throttling down automatically. Ooh, it's working. It's working. Okay, and then it should pitch over to the orbital. Yep, right at 35,000, and it did. I guess I don't know how to view the log. I thought it was this, but nothing's showing up. Okay, we'll speed up here. Oh, look at that, it's perfect. There we go. It's staged, which the fairing shouldn't be staged with that, but it is. Up to 100% throttle. Unfortunately, that's actually not enough throttle. But that's the craft's fault, not the program's fault. Oh, and now it's going back up. Perfect. There we go. So let's see, why is it only at 2% now? Oh, because it's doing the 10 plus thing. I also never added code to cut the throttle. I need to set throttle to 0 at the end of the code. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty beautiful. Once we get to 108 kilometers there, it's done. Perfect circular orbit. Eccentricity is not enough decimal places, but it is less than 1%. Sweet! We automated a rocket launch. Definitely not, you know, a perfect program. It has its issues. And eventually I'll want to make a program that works for, you know, a majority of rockets, not just this one. But for a first program, I think, well, I guess technically second program. I wrote one for my plane. I think that works pretty well. One thing I'm thinking... So there's two little things that I didn't love. One is that it needed to cut the throttle, so we'll add that in. That's easy enough. And then second is that I want it to... I think that should actually be 0 plus. That'll help a bit more. And then, yeah, okay. So the issue was it overshot a little bit. At one point, like the time to apoapsis got all the way up to 75 seconds because it couldn't throttle down fast enough. And so the throttle, I think that was when we staged. And then the throttle was, you know, different because of the staging. So really, this number here should decrease more if the difference here is bigger. And I would, like, put a variable in and then, you know, like, multiply... what was that? Lerping? I would lerp it. And so that way the change in throttle would be smaller if the time difference was smaller. And that would allow for some amount of, you know, actually responding properly. I don't know what PID stands for, but whatever we're doing is amazing. I know that much. So I'll leave this the way it is for now. And maybe... proportional... What does the ID stand for, though? I'm pretty sure ID doesn't stand for response to the error. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slightly change integral and derivative. Ah, okay. We're going to do +1 and -1. Here. And the reason is we want a little bit of wiggle room so it doesn't flop back and forth right around 60. And so it'll allow itself to get to like 1 second further or 1 second less before it even starts responding. And that should allow a little bit of like, you know, wiggling. Maybe I'll just do half a second, but so that it's 1 second of a gap that it'll travel between rather than trying to stay right at that number. Sweet. I like it. I like it a lot. So we'll save this as auto orbit V1. Yeah, exactly. It's a dead zone, like on a joystick. And I believe we have achieved our goal. Goal number 1. What's the point? I don't know, but we achieved it. So now we should actually, like, play the game. Heliosynchronous orbit. Ooh. Maintain the orbit position relative to the sun throughout an entire year. Wait, the game's physics aren't that fancy. What does that mean? Does the game not simulate the orbit of planets and the sun? Shouldn't that work in the game? I don't quite understand what it's saying about the game's physics there, but this one could be fun. Luna flyby, Drew orbit, and a CubeSat mission. Luna flyby is worth a lot of money. Holy crap. I have 7 million, so I should have plenty. Well, Dorian, what exactly isn't simulated? Because this is inside of the sphere of influence of Drew, right? 1 million meters? Yeah, that's inside. It's like 90 million meters that's outside. Anyway, I kind of want to try the Luna flyby. We're going to do it. So, build. This is going to be a much heavier rocket. I think I'll just start fresh. The other thing I don't know is how long batteries last. It shouldn't be a massively long trip to the moon, but it is unfortunate I don't know like how long a battery inside of this is actually going to keep things running. Okay, we'll go with the 0.2 meters again. We'll give it full gyros because it's just pretty light. The nose cone is interesting because it's dead weight. Where's the nose cone? How heavy is this? It's 19 kilograms. That's adding quite a bit of dead weight. What about a fairing? What if I were to just add an empty fairing on the top? Where are fairings? Structural? Interesting. Okay. That's a nose cone again. Wait, what is going on here? Why are the radii so weird? I don't know why. When you start a new craft, the game starts the radius at 0.16, and it's actually very annoying because it's not a multiple of the grid. Okay, width 0.5. Oh gosh. Okay, there we go. Start at 0.5. Size down. 0.2. There we go. Okay, how heavy is this bad boy? It's heavier. Interesting. 32.5 kilograms, but we won't have to carry it through space. I think that's worth it, because yeah, I'll be in space before I have small engines that are going to care about 30 kilograms. All right, so then we will build a fuel tank. Oops. I keep trying to do the Kerbal Space Program where you like click and drag, but in this case you just move the camera. Engine. We need it to be decently large because we're doing a flyby, which means we want more of our burn to be close to Drew's sphere of influence. Okay, that's a good TWR. That's a lot of Delta V. That should be plenty, I think. I don't have the, what's it called? The map of Delta V costs, but I'm just going to guess that that's enough. And then we need inner stage. Another one. Enjoy your food, Dorian. This one will probably be mostly circularizing, so it's not going to need gimbaling either. I think we need a little bit more fuel in that stage. Am I missing something? Why is the delta V so low? Because I'm just not adding enough. Oh yeah, I guess I'm only doubling the weight. Okay, that's a very... Maybe it's too short and not fat enough. There's 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers a second feels good. And then we'll copy this. Go to 1 meter of fatness. And then I'm just gonna go with a solid booster. Turn off the resize because it's annoying. Definitely don't need to be that large. And this is gonna mostly be working at a lower altitude. The height limit on the new launch pad is 30 meters, I believe. Cone and Bell. Bell is slightly heavier and more expensive, but you get more thrust to weight ratio, so why wouldn't I do that? Okay, so stage 1 is going to give me close to 3 kilometers a second. Stage 2 should get me circularized, and stage 3 should get me to Luna. The problem here is going to be attitude control, because this solid rocket stage is like bonkers amount of thrust, like way too much. It is on ramp down, which is good. I can reduce the chamber pressure. That reduces the efficiency though, that's pretty bad. Is that just the efficiency at low altitude, though? Okay, yeah, that's just low altitude efficiency. So we'll start more at like 6,000, so the thrust to weight ratio is not quite as crazy. I'm worried that it's not going to be able to turn fast enough for what we need. So it will get fins. I mean, we can try it. What's the worst that can happen? Save craft, lunar flyby. 160 grand to launch it. That's fine. We're gonna make 200 million if we actually fly by the moon. The last one spun around because of weird triangle stuff. Because it can't symmetrically like tilt in certain directions. And so that's part of the issue. Okay, so the moon is at 35 million meters. What's this one called? Brigo is at 23 million meters. And then there's this guy, TT. No, that's a planet. Wait, is that a planet or a moon? No, that's a moon, not a planet. Okay, the moon, Luna, has a very small inclination, so I don't really have to worry about the inclination. TT is retrograde orbit. Ooh, fun. Okay, let's try it. launch. It's spinning again. No idea why it's spinning. Why are you spinning? It's really weird. The airfoils? But they're not. Oh, do I have to like change a setting on these? Maybe I need symmetric. Maybe that was it. It's also really annoying they're not connected to roll as well as pitch and yaw, because these would, if they all turn the same direction, obviously they're going to roll the craft really well. And so I wish you could do, you know, pitch plus roll and yaw plus roll for these. Okay, let's try again. Less spinning this time? Yeah, that seems to be it. Thanks, Golden. Okay, so we basically want to pitch over as fast as we can with how much thrust this first stage has. We're going pretty fast. Mach 3.5. Nice. Okay. Well, we got a little higher than we wanted for apoapsis, but it's not bad. Go ahead and throttle down and stage. Should have less drag. Uh-oh. We'll get into space and then it won't matter. Go ahead and fast forward a little bit here. All right, now it should be able to lock itself. Yep, there we go. 50 seconds to orbit, or apoapsis, I mean. Oop, a little past. That's okay, we should be fine. Get that vertical velocity down. Last stage. Uh-oh, what did I do? I just screwed up, didn't I? Yep, we did. Oopsies. Oh well. Okay, so Luna is over there, and we want to set that as the target, and then we need a little in the thingy, a maneuver node. How does this work? This is my first time making one of these. I'm clicking, but it's not doing anything. Is there a technology that I haven't unlocked in career mode? Oh, this is not the tech tree. Tech tree. Is it this one? Yeah, plan maneuvers. Good thing is we have exactly 70 tech points, so we can grab that. We shall resume our lunar flyby. Okay, so now we can make a maneuver node. Perfect. And we want Luna to be the target. It would be good if the game had a little maneuver node like down here that you could mess with without having to like go click on the actual one. Anyway, we want something approximate. Wow, I got pretty lucky. That's just about right. And planned burn needs 1.18 kilometers a second, and we have 2.55. Perfect. We have more than enough. You also should be able to type into the numbers rather than just clicking and dragging. It's kind of like, is there a way to do that I'm missing? Just trying to get the most efficient. Ooh, that one would result in crashing back. Let's not do that. We might even have enough to get into orbit. Wait, I've gotten... Which one is our first one? Is it this one? Wait, why do they keep... Oh gosh. What's happening? I'm a little confused on what all of these are. So I've got my one node. How do I delete those? Oh, okay, there we go. No? Trash can icon in the box. Oh. Okay. So we've got the planned burn. But why is it not showing me... Nope, we deleted it. I think there could be some improvements to these gizmos. They're not quite working the way that I would hope. Like, being able to see the different intersections of, like, my orbit with the lunar orbit, and then put another gizmo. It's also kind of hard to click on these. What's going on right now? Use the white dot. What white dot? Click the node. Mm-hmm. I see no white dot. Like, won't let me click and drag it. It's really weird. Okay, let's try again. Maybe you have to click one of these? No, that's locking it. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so anyway, we want to get to where we will be intercepting the moon. Oh, there we go. No, see, what is this doing? Like, shouldn't that be moving the node? But it's not moving the node. It's like it is, but it isn't. Something's a little glitchy. No, it's not locked. Yeah, it won't let me move it anymore. I think something glitched out. Or I broke something. Does gizmo align need to be new? What is this? Determine how the burn gizmo is aligned. It can be statically aligned with the reference orbit. Maybe that's it. Maybe it needs to be reference. Does that let me move it? Nope. I broke something. Definitely broke something. It won't let me move it anymore. It let me do it before. I like click this and drag it around to see which orbit would actually intersect with Luna, and now it won't let me do it. Let's try resetting some things. Save flight, save and exit, resume flight, lunar flyby. Let's see if this fixes the problem. How will it let me move you? Yeah, there it goes. Okay, well, I found a bug. For sure. Oh, it just made another one. It makes them too easily. I don't want it to make a node from one click. Like, if you accidentally miss, and look at how close you have to get to click on it correctly to drag it around, then you accidentally make a new node, and that's kind of annoying. So I think that's one thing I would like to see changed, is maybe requiring like a right click to make a node. Okay, so anyway, we've got our delta V around 1 kilometer a second. Okay, and then we've got this, and this is where Kerbal Space Program is nice, because if you click on Luna, it would move these trajectory lines right next to Luna as well. So we could see, like, imagine I'm looking at Luna, the sphere of influence is here. It would show where you enter and where you exit Luna's sphere of influence relative to Luna when you click on Luna. Rather than having to go to where Luna will be in space to, like, try to make, for example, your circularization burn, which would be here, you can actually click on Luna and do that around Luna. And that is a nice thing in Kerbal Space Program, rather than this, which is kind of weird. Like, how do I center on this spot to see where the planet will be? And it doesn't look like you can. And then it also looks like this node, hold on. See, now I can't, like, what even is that? I can't click on it. This is very confusing. This is where things get weird. You know, we can see our burn will take us to here, and this is where we'll enter Luna's sphere of influence. And then this would be where we could do a circularization burn. But when I click there, when I click on this purple line, it takes me to somewhere else. Like, I don't want... I want to put a node right there, and it won't let me. Can you not plan multiple burns in a row? Like, if I were to do one here, yeah, that works. That works fine. Something fishy with trying to plan. I don't think I was. I think there's some bugs here. So let's get it to where we would, like, slingshot, essentially. I don't know. Where's the planet going to be? So here, we just barely touch Luna's orbit. So this purple line is... This purple line is our orbit after the maneuver. And then we're going to enter Luna's SOI here. We'll travel along, and then we'll exit Luna's SOI here. So if I wanted to circularize around Luna, I would put a node right there. And it doesn't let me. It's now in a different spot. And I can't... See, what the heck? That's so weird. Because Luna was here when the purple line... Oh my gosh. I think I get it now, but this is really not... I don't think this is the way it should be. Because I think what's happening is this pink line shows, with reference to Drew, where the craft will be traveling once Luna's here. But that's not even right, because with reference to Drew, this is gonna, like, just slow down a little bit. So that's, like, with reference to Luna, to Luna's sphere of influence, but if Luna were to sit in this exact spot where my mouse is, like if Luna were to be right here. But then, once you click to make a thingy, it changes Luna's future position to where it will be once you're at that point, and now you're making a node for that section. And so it's like double confusing here. Not a fan. I think the way Kerbal Space Program does this is far more clear, and it even has a couple settings, like you can change it to one or the other. This right here is very much not good. Like having this spot right here is actually this spot. These two spots are the same spot, and that's really bad that these are not in the same spot. Like what it should show is this pink line to here. It should show my maneuver node here, and then it should show that being a circle after my maneuver node. Like this whole circle that you see in the middle of the screen, this should be transplanted to here. For readability of what the heck is going on. Anyway, I think we've solved that problem, and we can actually get, it's going to take 412 meters a second, so we should be able to get into orbit of the moon. So now I just have to follow the maneuver nodes. Can you see maneuver nodes from here? Or do you have to be in map mode? Interesting. You might have to be in map mode. It also should give you planned burns in terms of... like they should name them. What the heck is going on here? There's some weird... Look, it's staying... Why is it still saying 1 kilometers a second? I'm finding some weird bugs here. There's only one planned burn at the moment. So I don't know why there's 2 different circles. One of them, they might be a future entering and exiting and coming back and hitting it again. But why does it show more that I can click on as far as planned burns? Still showing the delta V and the burn time of the first one. No. If I delete any of those that it was selecting, I deleted my original node. So, definitely got some weirdness here. But we'll go ahead and warp to the node. Okay. Wait, can you not lock maneuver node? Is that what that is? What? Okay, you can click on the orange button, but you can't click on it over here. That feels a little strange, because, like, the player's used to clicking over here to lock onto things. It's also weird you have 0 information on, like, the maneuver from flight info. Like, I have to go back to here to see what the info is. So yeah, there's definitely some things about Kerbal Space Program in this particular category that are superior, and I think Juno needs some improving. Like, why can't I see the timing of my burn here? Why do I have to go to map view? It's really weird. But then to lock onto the maneuver, I couldn't click it here to lock onto the right direction. So there's, like, double issues there. They intend for you to click the auto burn button. That's silly. They shouldn't assume that a player is going to let the computer do it for them. I mean, obviously that would do it all for me, but that's not how I want to play. So yeah, there should be a button here for locking maneuver, and when you're in the craft view, there should be a new little section that pops up showing your, like, time to burn and all that jazz. Okay, so the burn is... Because I like to watch my craft while I burn. I don't like to watch map view. There we go. So now we are set for an encounter with Luna. Beautiful. I'll go ahead and speed up a little bit. Get out of the dark here. When you use auto burn, the resulting orbit matches perfectly. Okay. I mean, I'm sure it does, but my point is that... Oh, there we go. Luna flyby. We did it. We entered the sphere of influence. But yeah, apophenia, that's essentially what I'm saying. Like, if you're able to see all of the information, and they even give you an orange node that you can lock onto, but you can't click over here to lock onto it, where you lock onto all the other things, and you can't actually see the information while you're looking at your craft, and you can't actually lock onto the maneuver node from this menu. It just feels like a lot of weird things in a row. So we'll definitely want to lunar flyby. We want to make a node here. There should be a button here to create node, I think. Given it lets you lock on to the SOI. I mean, I guess you can click on that part. But yeah. So then we're going to want to slow down. We'll get a nice close encounter. Warp to the next node. I wish it would give you a little more time. Am I out of battery? No, I'm not out of battery. That's good. Okay, so we can see our, where is it? Periapsis and apoapsis. There we go. We're in orbit of Luna. We got a nice circular orbit. Beautiful. Wait, what? Now what has happened? Come on now. There we go. It wouldn't let me select the old node and delete it up here. So definitely some weird behavior with maneuver nodes. I'd say so far Kerbal Space Program definitely has the upper hand with that particular topic. But we did it. We made it into orbit after we figured some things out. And sweet. Now I get 200 millions for that. So that's nice. And now they want us to do a Brigo flyby for less money. But let's look at the... I only got 30 tech points for all that. That's not very much. I'm trying to think of what we even want next. Bigger parachutes, orbital maneuvers for monoprop engines. Probably this. Better having having another engine would be nice. Apex engine. Ooh. And then what else do we need? Better wings, better motors. We could make a faster plane. Oh, solar panels would be a good thing. We will need solar panels. And better gyroscopes. Oh, and landing gear. Oh, that's for, like, planes. Okay. I think we already have the basic landing leg. Oh, yeah, the landing legs are up here. Somewhere. Aren't they? Soft landing. Yeah, there we go. So we can already do a moon landing. Docking port, side detaching, 10 stages, Pixie engine. Low power engine useful for second stages and landing. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to call it a stream at this point, but had some fun today. Got into orbit of the moon and programmed a rocket to launch itself to orbit. So that was fun. I'll probably be streaming more sometime this week. Don't know exactly when. I gotta play some Factorio too. It's been a few days. But thanks for all your help. Those of you that know a bit more about this game and the programming, and fly safe, as Scott Manley would say. I will be hanging out in the Discord, don't worry. I also need to report those bugs or something. I don't even know how to report it, but put a link to the stream and when exactly it happened. That was weird. Alright, see you guys later.